Hello.
Hi, this is Dave Griffin.
Yeah, Dave, how you doing?
Pretty good, sir. How can I help?
Just curiosity more than anything. Were you the guy that was working at the public station out there in Austin?
Yes. Did public access?
Had to run in with Linda and everything.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just curious. Did you know my brother Henry?
Yeah, I did, actually.
Okay. Really, what I'm trying to find out, I haven't been in touch with Linda for years. I'll just tell you this, I didn't want to say, send you an email, but I don't care for her, never have, and
Right.
that's my deal. She didn't do right by my family when my brother died, and we're just leaving it at that.
That's cool. I understand.
But anyways, I was just curious, and hadn't heard anything from her, so I just got a computer and learned how to use a computer and all that, so I'm not computer literate. But anyways, I Googled up her name just out of curiosity to see if she still had the same house, out there.
Right.
Is she still working for the station out there?
Yeah, as far as I know, we're still in litigation, to be honest with you. I can't really speak a whole lot about it.
Right, and I'm not asking about any of that. I'd read everything I could, and a lot of that stuff, you had to keep clicking back and forth and piecing it together, and I finally figured out, she had got her ass in the crack pretty good.
I hope so, but no, I knew your brother. We both worked for the networks. I worked for CBS mostly out of Dallas, and he was right here out of Austin with the Texas crew. And we were in Waco together, and we've done a lot of different stories. And but I can't say I knew him as a friend or anything. It's just someone I worked with.
Okay. One thing that I'm trying to find out about, and I'd asked Linda about this before, but sometime before he died, they had a girl living with him named Dana. Did you know her?
No, not familiar with Dana.
Okay. I don't know what her last name was or nothing. I met her there at his, whatever she put together for him, Celebration of Life or whatever, They had a service for him there at the house, and after she'd had him cremated and everything. But I was trying to find out how to get a hold of her more than anything. Trying to find somebody that knew her. She actually worked in the Capitol building down there somewhere. But it's curiosity, it's not really anything, it's just curiosity. I was just wondering if she was still in his house, maybe if Linda was still there in the house and everything. But,
well, what is the address of the house?
It's the Lake Hills Drive.
Right.
I pulled up her stuff on her, and she's still in the same place. But,
right. Corporation for Public Access and everything, that's the home address, is last time I looked. So as far as I know, she's still there.
Yeah, okay. Well, I had tried to get hold of him, and I guess it was Jim Bowen that he worked with so much at the Texas crew.
Right.
And I put in a call to him, and or trying to get hold of him, and he'd returned my call today as well. But I was just trying to find out what was going on with her.
She's still knee deep in it, but she just doesn't know when to be quiet sometimes. And
she's very headstrong, and I never have cared for her at all. I really haven't. But I didn't have to she's my brother's wife, and
right.
She just I don't know. I figured she's getting hers now. Is what I'm figuring.
Well, why I got you on the phone, I got a quick question. Has she ever operated a company like Public Access in the past? I mean, I know she's a producer and been in the business, but did she ever own a company where she had employees?
I have no idea.
Okay.
They had my brother and her had their own production company there at their house.
Right.
They had a studio down below the hill, below their house, and they had all kinds of equipment in there. I don't know what all they did. Henry was a sound man. I guess you knew that.
Right.
And I guess she cut and mixed tapes. I don't know.
Well, yeah, she was editing and that, and Henry, like I said, he worked doing sound, same thing I did. I worked for Keith Kay and a lot of the cameramen out of Dallas, and we would always see each other on shoots and stuff. And it's just one of those, someone and you're like, oh, every time you see them somewhere. But I was just curious, she is kind of knee deep in the PAC thing, and I was, to my knowledge, being a producer is one thing, but actually having a TV station with employees is something I don't think she's ever done. But that's just something I was curious about.
Yeah. What about this Nick guy that she's got the big thing going with as well?
Oh yeah, Necopopoulos. Well, I mean, I'm really not in his court either. He truly is a big crybaby. The big problem with Linda is she doesn't know how to do the rules. You got to do them fairly over the board to everybody, not just the ones you like and ones you don't like, and you just can't make it up as you go. But no, it's all kind of died down. The lawsuits are all either in appeal or about to be relaunched again, and it's just another. If you follow the city of Austin, there's always something going on up here, and it's more the city's fault, and she's right in the middle of it. But that's the way it goes.
She's let her alligator mouth overrun her hippopotamus ass. Way I look at it.
Well, I understand, but I'm like you. I make no comment at this time. If you're also looking for friends of your brother, you might want to check with the NBC Bureau in Dallas, because that's who Jim and them work for quite a bit, and they may have another camera person or people that may know this lady you're trying to find who are closer at those last days.
Okay, yeah. I was just curious. I'd asked Linda about her, and I didn't even know that she had lived, there until I'd met her there, and so at that Celebration of Life deal with this girl named Dana. And anyways, after everything kind of settled down, after he passed and everything, I was asking Linda about it. I'd talked to her 2 or 3 times.
Right.
And anyways, I asked her about it one time about this girl, and she was like, well, she's crazy, and she started bad-mouthing her, and I was like, what the hell's wrong with this? She didn't want me to know anything about her, And I was like, something's up with this. And I didn't pursue it, but I've often wondered about it, So I'm trying to find out about her. She was a real nice girl. I thought I talked to her at that Celebration of Life, and had a girlfriend there with me, and I'd have got her number if it wasn't for that,
Right, yes, yeah, not really appropriate time, but...
Yeah, but I mean, did you go to his Celebration of Life?
No, I didn't know him that well. When he passed away, I was still living in the Dallas area, and I haven't moved down here yet. And
okay. Well, this will give you a clue in how classy a deal it was. She put this thing together, and it's a long drawn out story, but anyways, while she was, had this deal with, there was probably 150 people there that came to see him.
Oh yeah, he was well liked.
And at the same time, she was having a damn birthday party for one of her nieces or nephews or something, like a 12 or 15-year-old. And I was like, you've got to be kidding! Had a damn snow cone machine and all this crap up there. And I was like, this girl ain't got a lick of sense.
Well, I can see Linda being, I hate to say it, cheap like that, trying to combine 2 things at one time.
Oh, yeah.
Just so she would have to clean up at once, but...
she catered everything in anyway.
I know.
Probably had hired somebody to do all of it. She just, Linda, I've hit my run-ins with her,
Well, I understand.
Okay.
All right.
I was just curious. I thought you might know who this girl was more than anything.
No. I'll be honest with you, try Facebook, and you don't have her full name, do you? That's the problem.
No, I don't have a clue, I vaguely remember Dana. I might have a picture of her, I think, and that's about it,
Right. Well, I wish I could help you more with that, but good luck to you now.
All right, you too on your litigation.
Okay.
I hope you break it off in her ass.
I'll try. You take care. Bye-bye. Well, as you can tell, her own family really doesn't care for her. I don't know what that was all about. It's not the first time I've been approached. I've had Dan Rather email me. I've had other people try to contact me about this matter. Some of them never did follow up on it. I've contacted gajillion people. It's just another day in a lawsuit. And that's what I'm doing now. You have to ask yourself, how can someone get away with something like this? How can someone just totally ignore our civil rights? I'm an American with a disability, and I have, just because I exercise my right of freedom of speech, not to go along with her criminal activities and her ways, I'm being penalized. I cannot use the Public Access Center because they are a private entity, but in actuality, they are a government entity. Under the color of law, they exist in a city-owned building with a city-owned contract, with city-owned equipment, with Time Warner equipment, with only a contract to do management of the assets of Channel Austin. But they've decided to take these assets for themselves. You know, they have extra long days where they have vacations. 4th of July, they were closed for 5 days. You know, they have summer camps and kids camps. Well, all those camps are great, but every time they have a camp, they charge for those kids. The equipment can't be checked out to producers where the equipment was bought for. So who really wins? You know, nonprofit makes all the money. You don't get to use the equipment. And, you know, it's theft. It's just never left the building. You know, she's constantly scheduling conferences and workshops and work for hire and ATX editions and kids workshops, and then when are you ever going to get a chance to use the equipment? You know, that's the problem. You might as well steal it. If she takes all the time away, if she closes constantly because she's doing work for hire for the Flamingo Bar and Grill, then, you know, there's a problem. And you're going to have to sit back and adjust it. Well, you just heard her own brother-in-law talk to her about her. Hey, I'm not going to say anything bad or good about her. She is what she is. You know, she puts her foot in it. She doesn't understand. She's never had a job in this industry. You know, even myself with my vast experience, it was a real challenge to run 2 studios, 15 equipment packages, 15 edit bays in a very small building that's been neglected. You know, Linda has never had that kind of experience. She's always worked out of her home. It's her and her husband. They'd hire some people to do a project. When the project's over, they go away. Well, when you're running public access, you don't have that luxury. You're there 24/7, you know, 360. You're going to have to deal with these people. You're going to have to deal with their problems. You're going to have to look them in the face and say, I'm sorry, we can't do it this way. But you're going to have to do it in a way that you don't lose everything. But, you know, that's just kind of one of those personal choices. You have to know when to give and when not to. Linda has no experience dealing with people. Hell, she can't even deal with her own family from what it sounds like. Well, anyway, there's much more on this to come.